Okay, so here we are at the Juneau Gastineau Rotary Club on March 11th, 2021. And we're pleased to welcome today Sherry Paul and Wayne Stevens, who are going to talk about United Way and Americorps. So Sherry and Wayne, you can take it away from here. Are you unmuted?
Thank you. Wayne, are you going to start?
Yep,
Okay.
too many little buttons, and Jill does a good job of keeping my eyes good, but the smaller they get, the harder it is to see, so my apologies. So Amy, thank you for the warm welcome. President Doug, fellow Rotarians, it's our great pleasure to be with you this morning. Make this very quick for you. United Way of Southeast Alaska is a nonprofit organization led by a volunteer board of directors. United Way of Southeast Alaska is in a unique position to act as a neutral hub, partnering with government, individuals, businesses, and the nonprofit sector to address community-wide issues. We link donors to issues they care about. We partner with several health, education, and social service agencies to achieve significant community impact. United Way of Southeast Alaska and our partner agencies we all win when a child succeeds in school, when families are financially stable, and when people have good health. United Way of Southeast Alaska focuses our partnership and fundraising efforts on programs that nurture children and youth, care for elderly and people with special needs, strengthen families and individuals, and meet the basic needs of people in crisis. We convene, we collaborate, we connect, and most importantly, we raise and distribute funds to support these and many more programs and projects. One of our pride and joy is the Core Alaska Learn Uniting Reading Tutor program that we've been running in the school system since 2012. The Learn United Reading Tutor program is sponsored by Core Kensington Mine and helps us provide reading tutors in Juneau schools. Our reading tutor coordinator, Marie Stevens, recruits, trains, and works on scheduling the tutors with educators in 5 elementary schools. Volunteers are provided basic training and then are paired with a student in need of assistance and encouragement. Volunteer works with the students twice a week for about 30 minutes at a time that works for the volunteer, the student, and the classroom teacher. The goal is to help students reach grade level reading by 3rd grade. One of our signature events each fall is the Day of Caring in Juneau. It's an annual event of volunteerism stretching back 20 plus years. United Way believes that boots on the ground doing great work for communities and organizations can accomplish great things. It is successful because folks like you see how important it is to give back or pay it forward to our nonprofit support agencies in our communities. In 2019, we did a Day of Caring in 4 communities across Southeast, Ketchikan, Sitka, Petersburg, and 2 days in Juneau, for a total of 5 days of service with 17 agencies served, with 111 volunteers donating over 450 hours of community service. In the past few years, we've partnered with the Juneau Community Foundation and have teamed up with the Juneau School District and other donors to provide funding needed for vital food programs in the Universal Breakfast Program. Our partnership among donors and the school district ensures that all of Juneau's elementary school students get breakfast, while also providing breakfast to middle school students and free breakfast and lunch to high school students, and to ameliorate some of the reduced fee costs. How do we fund this? Our annual workplace campaign is our primary endeavor to reach and raise funds. Each fall, we reach out to the community, try to work with the businesses to encourage employees to consider giving a small contribution each payday over the period of a year. Similarly, at the state, the SHARE campaign for state employees, federal employees, the combined federal campaign, and of course the annual Pick, Click, Give program. Our work is only made successful by the contributions and support of community members and businesses across the region. Our region reaches from Yakutat to Metlakatla, some 35,000 square miles and 70 plus thousand individuals, with agencies working in most of those communities. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Kirk Stagg, to our Juneau Cares Meal Program Manager, and talk about the grant that we've been managing through the Alaska Community Foundation with additional support from the Juneau Community Foundation and the Glory Hall.
So Kirk is not present, but his video is. And I am getting it started right now. Slideshow from beginning. Let's see, where's it going? Oh, I apologize. Let's see.
Why don't you just go into your presentation, Sherry, and I'll come back to the community food
It
program. We
looks
can
good,
run
Sherry. We can see it.
Okay, you can see the Rotary, you can see the AmeriCorps, correct?
Yes.
You can see the
Okay.
kids. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, well, I will go ahead then. So thank you everyone for allowing me to speak today. And I'm excited to give you an update on the Juneau AmeriCorps program here. But first, before I get started, many of you know who I am and what I've been doing the last couple of years. But since many of you are living in Arizona or all over the country, just know I'm looking for a condo and it's really challenging to find. So if anybody's getting ready to sell a condo, please contact me and I lost my beautiful garden. I sold my home on 12th Street. So hopefully I'll find a little patio so that I can buy some beautiful Rotary bulbs. But anyways, back to Rotary. Back to AmeriCorps. I started a year and a half ago, and who you see here is the first cohort that I had the pleasure of working with. We started out with 10 AmeriCorps members, and due to COVID, 3 service sites ended up closing. So a couple did go back to their hometown, but we graduated 6 here last year. And then this year, we have 13 members with us all through Juneau. And I'm really excited about this year. This was the first year also that we have a new 3-year grant. And when I began serving with AmeriCorps, I went around the community and I asked what the new need is because I had to write a new federal grant. And I came to the understanding that literacy was a huge issue here in Juneau and early literacy. And so I partnered with the Juneau School District and we decided that in conjunction with the Alaska Association of School Boards that we were going to put AmeriCorps members into 5 elementary schools. So the program focus now is on academic improvement and early literacy, which this was before the pandemic. So now it's even more important than ever. And I'll show you in a minute all the different sites that we have. The new thing about AmeriCorps is they just changed the logo, they changed the framework, and it almost aligns with Rotary, service to others. AmeriCorps members bring out the best in America, and basically we unite, we strengthen, we impact the community we serve, and we begin leadership skills that end up taking place in our community. So I thought that was really great that we have this alignment. Service above self is what you have, and AmeriCorps members are serving others for 1 full year. So again, our focus of the Juneau AmeriCorps program is improving academic performance and early literacy. We serve in 5 elementary schools, 1 licensed child care center in Juneau. And we're also multi-focused. So you will see that we serve in many other sites as well. So AEYC, CERC, we have the Alaska Health Education Consortium. We have a member this year for the first time at Greening Park that's doing family programming and amazing work in tutoring the youth in that haven't been in school at Greening Park. We have one that's serving at Ashna, Alaska State Hospital Nursing Home Association, working on health literacy. And then we have members at Gastineau, Glacier Valley, Harbor View, Mendenhall River, Riverbend, Juneau Suicide Prevention Coalition, Little Eagle and Raven's Nest Childcare, CIRC, working with adults, and then Zach Gordon. And for next year, we'll have a person at the new, you all heard earlier, the Transition Youth Center. So we're excited to have that. So a reminder that AmeriCorps is not a job program, an internship, free labor, or a staff builder. The best way that I've learned to explain AmeriCorps is an AmeriCorps Vista is a Vista person who comes into an agency and creates a program that the agency wanted, but they couldn't afford to implement or hire a staff or have a staff person implement the program. And then AmeriCorps State National, which is what we are the ones on the boots on the ground that actually implement that program. So all of the projects at each of the schools and each of the programs that we serve are projects that the agency could not afford to hire someone. So therefore, an AmeriCorps member can't be asked to answer the phones during a lunch hour while members go to lunch, while employees go to lunch. They're actually working with individuals on specific projects. And the best way to why host an AmeriCorps is by Joy Lyon of AEYC, and she's one of our longest AmeriCorps host sites. And she states, hosting an AmeriCorps member is a reciprocal relationship. AEYC benefits by an infusion of energy in accomplishing so many projects. The member benefits by gaining valuable work experience in a supportive environment with mentoring and coaching. They may be offered a higher level of responsibilities than they would as a new entry level staff. A high percentage of AmeriCorps members stay in Juneau. Our support as host sites also contributes to our Juneau community. Also, a big piece of AmeriCorps State National throughout the country, and especially here in Juneau, is the requirement to have 3 service projects throughout the year. And this year, we started to partner with Tlingit and Haida Central Council, which has been a really awesome partnership because not only are our members doing service, but they're also learning a lot more about Alaska Native history, Southeast Alaska Native culture. And so for September 11th and the United Way Day of Caring, our AmeriCorps members helped load and package the PPE materials that were put on in containers and shipped to the 22 Southeast communities. So they actually helped pack 280,000 pounds of PPE that were shipped to communities in Southeast. They worked hard. And then for MLK Day, they went and they built furniture at the new transitional housing center that is going to be open soon on Elway Avenue through Tlingit and Haida. I also instituted, thanks to Saga's idea, when Saga had AmeriCorps, I continued what's called the Legacy Project. And that is a project to provide leadership skills to our AmeriCorps members. They, as a team, decide what project that they would like to lead Juneau with at the end of their service. And this year, since the focus is on early literacy, all of our members have videotaped a bedtime story or a story. And they are going to promote it in the schools to the principals, and through AEYC, it's going to be housed about 13 different stories, and families can download stories or teachers can download any of these bedtime stories to be read to students. So what are the benefits of being in AmeriCorps? They do receive a very minimal living allowance, especially in Juneau. They receive $13.50 a month. and to pay rent, to buy food. Many of our members have gone on food stamps for the year because, of course, in Juneau, it's pretty expensive to live. At the end of their service, they receive a Segal AmeriCorps Education Award, which this year is $6,195, and that could be used to pay off student loans or go for furthering their education. Thanks to the AmeriCorps American Rescue Plan, though, I think these figures are going to increase. They also get the opportunity to sharpen their skills, add pieces to their resume. They do receive health benefits if they need it, if they're not on their parents. And then, as many of you know, I'm sure many of you know, past AmeriCorps or Vistas that have remained in Juneau. There's a lot of connections, and quite a few people end up staying in Juneau. And these are a few of our AmeriCorps members, Jenny and Aaron. Jenny serves at the AHAC, Alaska Health Consortium, which is a program that provides health education. The goal is to get more people involved in health careers. And so Jenny puts on presentations from elementary to high school, educating Juneau youth about the importance of maybe thinking about going into a health career. And then Aaron serves at Glacier Valley and is soon starting to teach kids ukulele at Glacier Valley. And as Rotary has a pledge, AmeriCorps has a pledge. I will get things done for America to make our people safer, smarter, and healthier. I will bring Americans together to strengthen our communities. Faced with apathy, I will take action. Faced with conflict, I will seek common ground. Faced with adversity, I will persevere. I will carry this commitment with me this year and beyond. I am an AmeriCorps member and I will get things done. And so finally, I just wanted to share a few other, let's see, I just lost it. I apologize. There we go. Slideshow. No, well, it's not going. Can you still see me though? Okay. I just wanted to say that in our program here in Juneau, one of the areas that we are that AmeriCorps members, especially this year, has been really one of the hardest years for members due to the pandemic. We're always looking for different ways that AmeriCorps members can serve in our community, take advantage of what our community has to offer. For instance, boat trips. If any of you have any space on boats or would like to give a real Juneau experience to AmeriCorps members, that's really, those are areas that I would like to pursue, more adventures in Juneau so members leave with more of an exciting experience in Juneau. They have all gone to the ice cave this year, which is exciting. And they always are looking to volunteer and serve in the community in ways that if Rotary has other projects, because you don't have the exchange program this year, you can feel free to call me and I could involve our AmeriCorps members to help in any of the projects that you all are involved with. So in the future, I would like to figure out ongoing ways to serve, to work together, to collaborate with Rotary, because of course, you know, I have a special heart, thanks to your Rotary chapter for allowing my daughter Manon to be in Austria during high school. And to let you all know, she's still traveling the world and graduating college next week. So I'm very excited for her. So thank you. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Sherry, maybe you could take the screen share off and then we can see.
Yes, I am going to. I don't know.
Oh, if you want, I'll take a quick moment to
There we
say
go.
thank you, Sherry. And we'll pass on Kirk's presentation, but I'll just give a quick rundown on the meal program. Last August, we received a grant from the Alaska Community Foundation for $800,000 to provide meal service to the Glory Hall, the Aware Shelter, and the Cold Weather Shelter. And we worked with local restaurants to provide work and income for small businesses and free up frontline employees who were working with homelessness, survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault, and providing food to those suffering from food insecurity. We worked with, I believe, 21 local restaurants to prepare meals 3 times a day, 7 days a week, since about the 3rd of September. The program is wrapping up with the additional funding from the Community Foundation and the Glory Hall. We're able to keep it running through the end of March. And basically it has provided about $750,000 to local restaurants to keep their staff employed, preparing meals, and to help us address other food security needs. The positive outcome is that small businesses were enthusiastic to offer their support, which allowed for a variety of meals to be served, and ultimately more residents were employed during the pandemic, a true economic development / social service project. And the community as a whole benefited from the program. In December, with the historic rains and flooding, we were able to be of service to Haines with the crisis brought on by the devastating landslides and flooding in their community. In partnership with Alaska Seaplanes and the Salvation Army, we airlifted 600 meals over several days, and sent an additional 200 meals on the ferry when the flying weather was below minimums. We also delivered supplies by ferry for 2 local Haines restaurants to make another additional 250 meals the following week to provide aid and help stimulate their economy in a small but meaningful way. I'm sorry we didn't have the opportunity to share Kirk's full presentation, but suffice it to say, it's been a huge benefit to the agencies that have been served and provided a meaningful impact economically to small restaurants during this challenging time. Kirk has done a great job for us in keeping the program organized and managed. He has a food service background, and I really appreciate the hard work he put into it. And Sherry does an awesome job with the 13 AmeriCorps, guiding them, nurturing them, and generally keeping young adults focused on their responsibilities and obligations. And with that, thank you, President Doug and fellow Rotarians, and glad to answer any questions you may have.
All right. Thank you all very much. It was a great presentation. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Let's see on the second page here. No questions?
Wow.
All right.
Yes,
Oh.
I answered everything that you ever knew about AmeriCorps. Great.
And United Way.
Thank you all very much.
Yes, Kim.
Yeah, I just want to remind people that even if you're not working, you can still set up a monthly donation to United Way. It doesn't have to just come through the process that many of us remembered of filling out the form once a year. So I'd encourage you to think about that option as well. You can set up something and Wayne's happy to get it going for you. So you can sort of do the same thing you did when you were working now that you're retired.
Thank you, Kim. And just for the record, Kim was campaign manager here a couple of years ago and did an awesome job for us. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Kim. And who else? Anybody else? Yes, Candy.
Well, I was just going to say that was a nice idea about, since we don't have any exchange students right now, that there's something that we enjoy doing with exchange students that we could fetch up ourselves an AmeriCorps person and give them experience. I think that was a really good idea, Sherry.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, Amy.
I just wanted to say thanks to both of you for all the good work that you're doing out there. It's very impressive. And, all the people I've known who've come through AmeriCorps and Vista and stayed in Alaska, especially those, I really appreciate, great people. And thanks for Sherry for helping to nurture them along their path, because I'm sure they do need some nurturing at times. But thank you for this wonderful program. and you as well, Wayne, for all that you're working on.
Thank you.
All right, John.
Wayne, you mentioned that the food insecurity program would stop the end of March. What's the plans for ongoing? What are you working on in terms of the future?
So the Glory Hall is getting their personnel and clients vaccinated, and the plan is that they would start in April cooking again using volunteers who are appropriately vaccinated to come in and start to reinstitute the program that they had in place prior. The food bank is a partner agency of the, or excuse me, Glory Hall is a partner agency of the food bank, and so they get a fair amount of their grocery supplies from the food bank. And the volunteers would then start to reintroduce meals being cooked at the Glory Hall. Their plan is to, in early July, be moved into their new facility that has a much larger kitchen and space to work in. And so it's not that we're just dropping it. There's a planned transition moving from what we've been doing, where everybody's been social distanced. Volunteers weren't able to come into the facility and cook meals as they had in the past. And so we're working with them to transition into the next phase.
Thanks.
I may be putting him on the spot a little bit, but Eric, could you give us an update on how the Glory Hall is coming, since we do so much with it?
Yes, it's actually coming along really well. We have, I believe, just a little bit ahead of schedule, but we are tentatively planning on the temporary certificate of occupancy right at the end of June. So they should be fully functioning by July. So at this point, everything's looking well. The elevator is the big question mark, and I just had word 2 days ago that they should be mid-June in town, and they only take a week to install. So that's that was the one I was really concerned about, but that looks like it's falling in place. So.
All right, great. I don't know if anybody's driven by the new Glory Hall, but I saw the roof. They were putting the last bit of trim on yesterday. So it looks like a great space. Anybody else have any questions? All right. Thank you all very much, Sherry and Wayne. Thank you for your presentation. I'd like to thank Carl Filato for coming. And also, it is Alice Edwards' birthday today. So you guys might want to wish her a happy birthday. And
not my birthday today. I don't know who Alice's birthday it is, but it's not my birthday today.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if you don't want to accept that, that's fine. All right. So anyway, I'll see you in a couple weeks, and I'm working on my tan face right now. I'm in the dark. So everybody go out and be great Rotarians. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Great presentation.
See you, Carl.
See you later.